Good morning, everyone. Today we'll be talking about the three endemic species in Italy, which are Sardinian long-eared bat, Corsican hare, and Italian cave salamander.
So, for Sardinian long-eared bat, which is also known as Plecotus sardus, it is an endemic species to Sardinia, Italy, and it was first discovered in 2002 in the cave of central Sardinia. It is different from other Plecotus species in mitochondrial 16S rRNA genes. This bat is the sole surviving endemic mammal found on the island of Sardinia. It is a small bat with the head and body length of about 45 millimeters, and the ear is around 38 millimeter, which is huge compared to the body size. The snout is cone-shaped with a fleshy knob on the chin. The ears are oval and joined above the forehead by a fine membrane. For the habitat, it normally lives in tree holes and caves, which are important as a winter hibernation site. It hunts for predation. It hunts above woodlands, often by day, and mostly insects such as moths. They prey by using sight, sound, and echolocations. However, unlike most bats, the long ear of this bat help them hunt by hearing alone, and their hearing is sensitive enough to hear a moth in flight. For the IUCN list, it's considered as a vulnerable species. And for Italian cave salamander, it is also known as Pleliomantis italicus, which is endemic to northern Italy. The length of this species is around 12.5 centimeters, including the tails, and they are dark in colors with reddish or yellowish marking and a dark belly. They normally live in wooded valley, rocky outcrops, caves, underground water, such as a limestone area, which can be found in Apennine Mountain, province of Lucca, and province of Reggio Emilia. For the IUCN list, they are considered as near threatened species.
Now let's move on to the Corsican hare, the species we are going to be focusing on today. It is also known as the Apennine hare or Italian hare. Its bionomial name is Lepus corsicanus. It is classified as vulnerable by IUCN because of habitat loss, hunting, and competition with European rabbits. They prefer habitats with alternating clearings, bushy areas, and deciduous woods. They may also inhabit dunes, cropland, Mediterranean vegetation, scrub forest, and urban areas. They are endemic to mainland Italy, but their range is more fragmented, from Tuscany to Foggia. They were introduced to Corsica, the island in the circle right now, and the population there is getting larger than on mainland Italy, which is why they are named after this island. Though they are similar looking to the European hares, they can be distinguished by their redder fur, proportionally longer hind feet and ears, subocular tawny patch, and a definite transition between colored fur on the back and white belly fur. They also have eyes that are large and brown, and they have hind limbs that are more robust than their front limbs. This is because their hind limbs are developed for running and jumping. There are fur present on the feet that provides grip and insulation from extreme temperatures. There are also no apparent sexual dimorphism between each sex. The relationships between these hares are polygynandrous, which is the kind of polygamy in which a female pairs with several males, each of which also pair with several different females. Or well, an orgy. Italian hares breed all year except for a 67-day interstrus period between October and December. Breeding varies geographically, but most females reproduce 3 to 4 times yearly. Some may reproduce up to 5 times a year if they are at the lower latitudes. Females might exhibit postpartum estrus and may breed immediately after giving birth. Males will fight for females by striking one another with their front legs and sometimes even biting. Short courtship rituals occur prior to mating, with mating usually occurring at dusk or night. Females prepare special areas called havens, where they give birth to 1 to 5 offspring, called leverets. In hares, leverets are born at a precocial stage of development, or a stage where the young are relatively mature and mobile from the moment of birth. This could help with the young's survival, if the females are not around to help them. The female leverets remain in their native range while the males disperse at maturity. The females will nurse and protect their offspring until they reach independence. Italian hares are solitary and sedentary, or inactive. They are nocturnal and forage during the night and remain in dens during the day. Italian hares are adapted for locomotion through running and jumping. Italian hares are entirely herbivorous, eating mostly grasses. Sometimes they would eat such as rushes, peas, asters, and other kind of plants. Yes, you're seeing it correctly. Rabbits eat their own poo. Because the herbivorous diet is not the easiest to digest, the hares beat this problem by a special kind of digestion called hindgut fermentation. This tends to produce two kinds of droppings, the inedible one, which is the waste, and the edible one, which is called cystotropes. This process is called coprophagy. Basically, they are pretty much the expert of saving food. So how are they endemic? Many researchers have shown the clear link between the Italian rabbit and other European hares like L. castrovilliejari. This could mean that the species might have been introduced to south-central Italy, then evolved and adapted to become L. corsicanus. The Italian hare are also introduced into Corsica by man in the 16th century. Researchers now show differences in genetic makeup between L. corsicanus in mainland Italy and the ones in Corsica. They hypothesize that this is due to isolation. And that is it for our presentation on the 3 endemic species in Italy. Thank you so much for watching, and these are the credits.